we'll transition out of here, and then I'll let you go. All right. So let's run through it first.
100%.
I'll set us up just because I know that we talked about it yesterday. Yesterday, James and I both had a bias on GCAD to see it come down off the 200 EMA here. It never really set up for a strong trade. It never held the 200 well and then came lower. As you can see, it kind of popped and then faded into the afternoon. And that market sentiment line yesterday could throw some people off. Now, the short bias yesterday was fed because of EuroCAD. If you remember, and I have this marked up still, EuroCAD, we were very much short biased. They had a good market sentiment. So I said to myself, as we often do, we go and look and say, well, where are the other CAD pairs? What's GCAD doing? What's ECAD? AUDCAD? What is the best CAD quote pair to trade? So that was the bias yesterday. That carried through overnight. In the Asian session last night, we had a really good idea. I sent it to you on Instagram, remember, coming off the 21 EMA, seeing these pins up here to the 50.
Yeah, that was a clean one.
Bro, beautiful, right? Super clean. So then you woke up, you got to the desk this morning, and then take us through here. I'm going to start doing the markup on the 1 minute, but tell us what you liked about the 15-minute setup this morning, because you took the trade somewhere around here as it started to come off the 50, correct?
Yep, 100%. So it's lagging a bit my side, the graphics. I can hear you perfectly. It's just lagging a bit my side. So I'll just use my desk in the background if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
So basically, I got to the desk, and obviously it's quite weird. It's cool how at ASFX we can catch the moves even without talking. I mean, you caught GCAD while I was busy sleeping,
right?
Because obviously the time zone. So I got to the desk and I saw on the 50-minute it's just a clean trend. It's been, short bias. Obviously, we were looking at to short it yesterday, and ECAD was short. ECAD made a nice move yesterday evening, late into the New York session, which obviously ECAD and GCAD do like to move together. So I had it was a D1 into a A1. I know there was an A1 shift candle, but the RSI wasn't proper, and it was also at that Asian range low. And I know that being at that Asian range low can easily bounce. I think it had bounced like 2 or 3 times. That's what. Look how many times it had bounced before it actually just tanking lower. But what I saw is, and my first entry, which was at, I'll get the exact Eastern time for you, was at 10:32. So 4:32 Eastern time.
Okay, got it.
On the 1 minute.
Yep.
So So I didn't get in on the shift candle with the improper RSI value or anything like that. Now, since I've been building this J1, I've been waiting for the 50-minute to be in the correct shift. So once that I got into that correct 50-minute downshift and held that, I was looking for 1 minute entries on the 1 minute, and I got in just before the 50-minute candle closed that broke the Asia range. I got in there with a stop at the high just above the 1 minute 800, which we know is the 15-minute 50. And basically, I was in it. It chopped around a lot, but holding the ATMA on the 50-minute, and I found a better risk reward entry or retest with the candle formation. This is a good one for maybe like this is more aggressive entry on the 1 minute to retest, but it's coming off a solid EMA, the 21 on the 1 minute retest. I got back in there, but you see it actually pulls back through the 50 and back down again, and that's where you can look to get back in. So the candle at 5:34 your time on the 1 minute there. Awesome.
Right there.
Yep. You see how that comes back down through the 50 and the 1821 cross on the 1 minute.
And even there, if you look at it from the top, there's your divergence high that sets up the D1, right? Lower high, lower high. This is where the stop went. This is where you took the entry. What does it do after that? Lower high, take the entry, stop right here.
Hold, and look at that. Just holds the 1 minute EMAs and just continues lower. So I had 2 entries. I had that first. Yep. Say again.
No, I was going to add one thing before you keep going. Notice, everybody that is in the A1 or the D1, like the guys that are in the course, notice he takes the entry here with the market sentiment line on the 1 minute in the buy zone, which is actually, in a way, a good thing. It's not necessarily that he needs to wait for it to get into the sell zone, because with it being so close to the sell zone there, he knows that the market sentiment has to get into the sell zone before the RSI crosses back up through it, as it does here. If this cross had happened up here in the buy zone, he would not want the trade. So by entering when it's in the buy zone here, it almost backs him into a corner. If this happens, I'm staying in. If this does this, then I'm getting out. So it's actually a decent place to be considering the entry, because you know what it should do next if it's going to work. Make sense?
100%. Yep, and it's like that if then statements. If the RSI crosses back up through the L50, when the L50 doesn't get back into the sell zone, I know that it's gone. I pull it,
Yep.
but you see how it just gets back into the sell zone, and look how it just holds. It just holds even with that pullback, pulling back above the 1 minute 50. Look, the L50 stays in the 1 minute the 1 minute L50 stays in the sell zone, and it hasn't come back into the buy zone since. So it's just readable, and it's the same patterns every day. And this is why I've been building it with the 15-minute shift in your favor. You can look for these 1 minute entries that aren't proper A1 or D1 entries, but it's readable with good risk to reward ratios. And when you become more confident in them, you can put money behind it, and
Yep.
you can get some good trades like GCAD this
I
morning.
think
I don't think
this is pretty close to a D1 to me, you know?
Yeah, it is a D1, 100%. Yep. It's just like, some people think that the entry where I got in, or the second entry I got in, will be like it's too far to get in for D1, when it's really not. It's actually a good place to get in. You know what?
Right.
Because it's the L50 is back into the sell zone. It's not gone. It's not gone, and you trading it, and it's readable.
Well, I think also the way that you're doing it now with waiting for that proper shift, that needs to transition now. If we're being critical, that has to transition into you saying, okay, if I know that this shift on the 15-minute is in my favor and I'm trading with the 8 EMA in my favor and all this is in my favor, why get out of the trade fully? Like I was saying to you earlier, as this look at the market sentiment line since both of your entries. The yellow line, market sentiment on the 1 minute, says stay in, stay in. So I think what we both need to do is if the market sentiment line is saying stay in on the 1 minute specifically, we need to keep something in the trade. And over time, if we practice that, I think it will get better at it and we'll keep more in the trade. But even if it's a small piece, just to get used to holding it, you know what I mean? Because, bro, this is a unbelievable rip. Now, we do want to address the only negative of the trade, because I liked that you graded it high, like you gave it an A setup. The only thing I said about it,
but it was the first break.
Yeah, so I think that just needs some merit in this idea. But I think if you look at your second entry, which I have marked on the 15-minute right here, so the vertical line right here is where you got the first entry. The second entry is right here where this is marked. Notice what happens after the first entry. It ends up pushing down.
It pulls back,
retests the zone of the Asia low with a pin here, and then comes off of it with your second trade. So there it is, still kind of giving the retest. But sometimes you'll get this break like this. It'll pop back up to the 50, and then it'll tank. But I think, like you said, with good risk management, you're either going to make money on that or get stopped at break even probably, and then be able to get back in on that retest, keeping that same bias. So you're just saying to yourself, hey,
100%.
I'm not going to forecast and predict that this first break is not going to work and that it's got to retest. No, this is breaking out now. Let's get in it now, and we'll react later. If it turns around, we'll get out later. And it's only said stay in the whole time, you know?
Yep. And I mean, you can, if it pulls it back, you get back out of break even or a small loss, and then, gives you that second entry, and it's telling you this thing's ready to go, and you get back in because now it's outside the Asian range, and now it's your time, and you can just read it from left to right, and it's telling you that it's looking good to continue lower. But I definitely think that holding trades is a big, because my best exit was 1.7221. So it was about,
that's still pretty low. Still pretty low.
It was like 45, 50 pips, but I think it's been so difficult. Like, I know what you're saying, is I remember clearly watching like a Facebook. Remember, we used to do those daily recaps and with the guys on the Facebook, and I remember clearly it was the 21st of April. I was watching it yesterday or the other day, 21st of April last year, and you were saying you have no idea how much it is what it feels like to make 2% of 200,000, 2% of 500,000. And when you actually start to it's tough to hold those trades when you're up like 6-7K and you have to hold those trades. It's very, very tough. But I think definitely, even if you're holding a small piece, like 0.10% of the original size, I think that's an area I definitely need to get better at, because
me too, bro.
You've got to let your winners run and yep.
Well, think about it. Are we going to be trading smaller size in the future? Probably not. So this problem, like you said, you go up 10 grand pretty quickly.
It's always going to get worse.
It's only going to get worse, right? So we got to figure it out now. You're 100% right. It's only going to get worse, because then you're going to make more. 6 pips will be 60 grand eventually, and you're going to be like, oh, I only need 6 pips. Exactly. And no, that's not the right way to trade, because then you're looking at the money, you're not looking at the actual trades.
Yes.
So
but the process and following the rules.
Hey, listen.
L50 is telling you still hold it. It's in.
out of all of our trading experience, bro, and my learning curve has been a lot longer than yours. Out of all of my trading problems, this is the best problem to have, is holding the winners. You know what I'm saying?
I
You could
agree.
have way
Yep.
worse
Yeah.
problems with your trading. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah. I agree. Yep. You could definitely. Yep. 100%. I think
So,
it is a good problem to have though, I guess. But we always got to try and be better.
so really quick, as I'm going to let you go in a second, let's just look at Euro USD. So I've got the 15-minute now.
Okay.
It's in the downshift. 8 EMA is under the 21. It's now retesting the divergence line, retesting the support zone. Look at it on the 1 minute. Coming off the 50, market sentiment's in the sell zone. I would anticipate that this continues lower, holding the downshift here, wouldn't you?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
I'll be looking for entry as soon as we get off the call. Yeah, I'll be watching it.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. It looks pretty neat. The 1 minute off 50 in the sell zone, similar to GCAD.
Yep, very similar to GCAD. Now and it still has space to move on average daily range. If you were to look at it here, you've still got 30 pips or so to ADR. So I would say if we could get right now, the only thing that I don't like about it is on the 15-minute, I just see higher lows. If this could just start to really show bearish in this candle, then I would be willing to continue to look at this.
Look at starting to move.
Yep.
Starting to move.
All right, bro. Well, listen, I'll let you go. I appreciate you coming on and talking to us about not just Euro USD, but your trade on GCAD. Well done this morning. I'm really happy for you. I'm glad that you're crushing it. And then going into the rest of the week now, you had 2 trades yesterday, kind of break-even day, crushed it today. The rest of the week, bro, just trade great trades. Tune the aggressiveness down a little 100%. Bit maybe, because you've got good wins in the bag. Even if you just size them down a little bit. You can
just relax now,
Yeah, and you can still win those. And
I think I'm up. Yeah, on the week, I think I'm up already like just under 2% on all the accounts that I manage. So
not bad, bro.
It's been in 2 days. That's quite
in 2 days. Yeah,
obviously GCAD helping with a big win, but just as you say, you got to. It's like what I've learned from being with you is now you just got to whenever you have a big win, you just got to tone it down, come back to reality and be like, cool, we've had 2 good days. Let's just stay focused on the next one good trade and take it from there.
That's it, bro. Because now the thought is, okay, I can't give back the 2% that I just made in 2 days. You know what I mean? We need to maintain that and actually grow it over the next couple, even if it means not trading tomorrow.
Exactly. Exactly. And I'll reference the t-shirt I'm wearing. Do less, do it bigger, do it better. That's all.
Yeah, buddy. All right, bro. I love it. I love it. Thank you for coming on, bro. I know everybody appreciates it. Everybody in the chat, thank James. Make sure you connect with him, send him a message. And we'll wrap it up here, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, 100%. Thanks for having me, Austin. I appreciate you, bro.